Thank you. Okay, well, my next guest, well, their lead singer has described them as the loudest folk band in the world. They've been together for nearly 30 years, sold over 130 million albums, won a record 22 Grammys, and are in the country for their first national tour in 8 years. On stage, as we speak, in Brisbane. I had the pleasure of catching up with them yesterday for an exclusive chat with Larry Mullen Jr., Edge, Bono and Adam Clayton. U2!
We've always had this idea that, you know, rock and roll can change the world.
Just that hair, right?
Yeah.
I wish I had it now, but it's actually, there was a very high wind happening.
Always felt like a bit of a charlatan and not quite, you know, right for rock star, and that it was perhaps wasted on me.
Gentlemen, how are we?
Very good, I think.
On the as we speak, the eve of your Australian tour, the first one in 8 years. How does it feel to be back?
Well, I was just saying there, it turns out it's not like riding a bike, and you can fall off, and it could be interesting the first night.
Yeah.
But you know, this is there's some things you shouldn't get too good at.
So you do still get nervous?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel I want to throw up.
One man comes in the name of love. One man he come and go.
Now, you guys are very close to, depending on how you want to look at it, 30 years in the industry. Do you guys see yourselves as being a bit of, you know, the elder statesman of the rock industry?
It depends on what time of day. I think early mornings sometimes, but by the time we're on stage, no way. No way. We can hold our own against any young group. In fact...
Yes. I mean, I thought it was apparent that we were doing everything we possibly could to defy gravity, and I'm sorry that it's not working for you. Yeah, no, it's time for the men to see off the boys.
Now, the clip for The Saints Are Coming, I think, sends a very powerful message, and I would assume that's an intentional thing. And do you often wonder or worry about making too much of a political statement at times?
Oh, yeah. As you better answer that. You're in...
Yeah, well, you know...
You're up to your neck in it.
You know, coming from Ireland, sometimes it's a little difficult to go into somebody else's country and start...
Doesn't stop to speak.
But, you know,
Probably
really
should have.
Yeah, I never thought of that.
Well, if I didn't know any better, I'd say some of your political activist work is rubbing off on Edge.
Yeah, well, you know...
Always, though, as a band, we've always had that political awareness. You know, we grew up in an era where politics and music were all the one, you know. The Clash were the band that we looked up to a lot, and Bob Marley, you know, there was no separation, really. You just put everything into your songs. John Lennon was a big inspiration.
I mean, religion and politics are the two things you're not supposed to talk about at the table. That's all we talked about in our house. And it seems to be all Irish people talk about when they're at the pub. I mean, it's the U2 thing, it's not really, it's very natural to just who we are as people, and we've always had this idea that, you know, rock and roll can change the world, you know, even if it's just changing the temperature of your bedroom, you know what I mean, or it certainly changes the way you see out your bedroom window at the world. You know, it did to me as I was growing up, 15, 16, I just listened to John Lennon, as Edge was saying, I thought, wow, you know, everything is possible. And when I got this music in my head, you feel everything's possible. And so much more is possible than you imagine.
Well, Larry, take me back to the day you put the ad in to get all the band together, that first day when everybody turned up to your house. What was it like?
Just tell me who were the best guitar players.
Yeah, I mean, it was a punt. You know, it was like my old man was tired of hearing me bashing away upstairs on my own, and just one afternoon he said, look, why don't you just go into school, stick a notice on the board and see if anyone turns up, and I did.
He was looking for a jazz band.
He was looking for a jazz band. And I think
That's, you can just imagine Larry
Just with the
Mullen
brushes, just
Jr.
every now and again.
Would have been great. I think he would have been happy as well.